octopus at a tea party. She slipped in through the kitchen, pausing behind the tables where the patrons were seated so only the musicians and staff would see her, planting herself at the end of the bar like she'd been carved there. When Danelaw caught her eye, across all those rapt faces, she frowned and nodded. She had a round face, a straight nose, and a finely pointed chin. He imagined brown or amber eyes behind smoky lashes and schooled himself to professional coolness. Damn, he thought, there goes the second set. His own security was out in the crowd, but he didn't know who most of them were, and he wasn't supposed to try to find out. So the citizen must have come with a message too sensitive to transmit, even encrypted. Thinking too much, he fluffed a chord change, but got it back before the progression fell apart on him. He turned over his shoulder and shot a signal to Chuck, the drummer, who threw in a special fill to let Therese know to end the set. She wrapped up the Chuck Berry in half the time it usually took, a minor tragedy. But as soon as she announced the break, he set his bass in the stand and jumped off the stage, landing between two tables surrounded by startled patrons. Sorry, Sis. He had to turn sideways to slip between them. The aisles were narrow, and Danelaw both broad and tall. When he got closer to the watcher, he began to realize the true depth of the problem. In addition to her suit and chrome, headwire and earset, the citizen wore a captain's crimson free-legate jewel over her left eyebrow and a worried expression across the entirety of her face. When Danelaw came up, she didn't hesitate, and she did not mince words. "Premier, I'm sorry." Her voice was light and well modulated, but he would bet it could carry across a crowd if necessary. "I'm Amanda Fryer. We haven't met. I've been sent to inform you that the homeward perimeter registers a blip." Nothing was scheduled incoming for over 400 days, and certainly nothing from Earth. Rogue ship, he asked? Pirates? There had been no reliable reports of piracy in Danelaw's lifetime, but there was history, and there was always a new first time. Captain Amanda shook her head, giving Danelaw an increment of relief. "She's broadcasting an identity tag, one there would be no reason to fake." That relief faded as he watched her nerve herself. "An antique tag, on antique equipment. We had to break open the original code files." He knew the answer. The Jacob's Ladder. He might as well have said the Flying Dutchman, but incredibly she nodded. Danelaw rocked restlessly from foot to foot, controlling his body's desire to fidget by force of will. Floorboards of salvaged wood creaked under his weight, reprimanding him. Rack and waste. The kleptocracy actually did it. And only 1,000 years late. She took his elbow as she led him from the room, back the way she'd come. "Administrator Danelaw?" "Captain Amanda?" Her thin throat showed it when she swallowed. "Do you suppose anyone's alive on it, sir?" He shook his head, but he didn't mean no. Something more like awe and incredulity. "I hate to guess. And if they are, what sort of condition do you suppose they're in?" Danelaw collected his open security detail, and Captain Amanda brought him topside. Much of Bad Landing was underground, a compact, low-impact settlement burrowed out of the already shocked earth surrounding Crater Lake. Surface paths, shaded by native vegetation and foul-weather awnings, threaded between the gentle slopes of constructed hills. Dwellings, gathering places, and the scattering of rare commercial buildings clustered around meadows and diversity zones. Solar leaves, laid flat for the night, scaled the water-grooved roofs of earthed buildings, and, across the lake, ranks of solar-skinned wind turbines followed the arc of an artificial reef habitat.